Good morning and welcome to Behind the Screen. I am JM, and this is a show where we hang out and we just talk about games, primarily role-playing games, but things that are also beautiful, things that inspire us, things that make us want to be better players, better role players, better gamers, better humans. And today we're going to talk about the roadmap for 2026, because I have a lot planned for the Iconic channel. As long as we'll see how it goes, but the idea is, with my health kind of stabilizing, not necessarily getting better, but definitely not getting worse, I have more energy, more focus, if that makes sense. And I want to be able to let you guys know kind of what I have in store. But before we get started, good morning to Ross and to Dreamshaper. Good to see both of you. Dreamshaper, we are playing tomorrow night. Huzzah. And good morning to Tink. Welcome, Tink. So let's start with this show, because this show is kind of the flagship show, if you will. Jason, good to see you. I have like 4 main things that I want to be focusing on this year for Behind the Screen. And that includes reviews and stuff like that. I've got a ton of reviews. In fact, I'm reading through, I'm going to finish up Adventure Dark and Deep. I'm going to be reading Mythic Bastionland, which is an Into the Odd game that is very Arthurian inspired. Looking forward to that. And Grum, good to see you. So expect reviews, but I want to stay focused on the things that I want to see over the course of this year on Behind the Screen. So ignoring reviews for right now, of which I have a ton. Here's kind of my game plan for 2026. I want to talk more about New Helios City. We're going to do adventures designs. We're going to do city designs. I still have 1 week left. We're getting snowed in this weekend, so I think I'm going to be making a lot of progress on getting all of the New Helios stuff aggregated and put into a Google Doc, as well as a sheet or a page that says, hey, if you're going to make changes to this doc, you are welcome to, but here's the format I want you to do. So the idea will basically be everything in black is stuff that we've already discussed on the show or have put in the channel, and I have taken a look over, and I'm acting as kind of a Martin-esque editor if this were wildcards. And then I'm also going to, so then I'll say, hey, when you add something, just highlight, pick a color, highlight it. And so the idea will be, new material will be highlighted in, let's say, yellow. Stuff that's being revised, we'll highlight it in green. Stuff that's about to go live will be highlighted in blue. And anything without a highlight will be like official canon in the New Helios City. So expect that before the end of the year, going out to the Iconic patrons. Access if you guys would like it. Now, I received a present. Mark, good to see you. Yes, Dreamshaper Wildcards. That's actually my first experience with George R.R. Martin. It was not Game of Thrones. It was the Wildcard series. Because I was big into GURPS Supers, and GURPS 3rd edition had a Wildcards supplement, and that's actually how I came to discover the world and then the novels from there on. Captain Trips, man, the guy who every time he falls asleep gets a new superpower. Or no, Captain Trips was the one who did drugs and got superpowers, but there was a guy who every time he fell asleep, his body, the wildcard virus, rewrote his genetic code, and he would wake up with a completely new personality and a completely new Croyd Crenson. Yep. Was it Croyd Crenson? Oh, there's also the guy who he was a pacifist detective, but if he made finger guns at somebody, he could teleport them. Like, there's a lot of yes, Mark, that's fair. We all do in varying degrees. So that's New Helios is going to be a big focus of 2026. Now, the other thing that we're going to talk about is solo play. I received a present in the mail for Christmas, a game called Caernathalis, and I'm working on a way to start in February doing a solo playthrough of this using the new rules. Thank you for sharing them with me. To just see what the solo play is like. So I think February there's going to be we're going to try and focus on doing a little bit of solo RP on the channel in February. Yes, that's it. I remember he got the wild card virus and basically allowed it to, like, there was a second wave of mutations from the virus. Now let's just take a step away. I love the wild card, like the idea that most people who contracted it drew, got maybe a minor super ability. Aces got really cool powers. Jokers were physically mutated in some grotesque way. Deuces got a pretty much, you're caught you could heat up the liquid in any mug to boiling. Like, cool, but not really great. And then, some people died from it. It was supposed to be a virus that these aliens unleashed on Earth to wipe out humanity, but instead it ended up mutating a bunch of us. It was a good series. So, from as I understand it, that was actually Martin and all of the writers who were participating in it. They were all a writers group in New Mexico, and Martin got Super World from Chaosium, and this superhero game so consumed the group that they basically were like, we either need to stop playing it because it's ruining our lives, or we need to find a way to make money at it. And they wrote the Wildcard series based off their Super World campaign. No. That would be an ace power, because that would be useful. It would be like, I can heat up any liquid in a mug to boiling, would be a deuce power. Or I can change the text of any book to green. Okay, technically, yes, a superpower. Useful? Inside straight. Yeah. Hey, John Doom. Glad you're here, because you're on the list of things to talk about today. So the other thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the toy box. And the toy box is going to be a series of videos over this year where I'm going to kind of explain how I design my campaigns, how I design toys that I then bring out and use in the campaign. There were a couple of other videos. I'm stealing the term because it's probably the best term for the way that I prep for my games from another video, and I'll put that video in the link when we start the toy box series. I've always said that I do a lot of prep beforehand, before the game starts, and then once the game starts, I do very little prep, because basically I spend all my time before the game starts building toys, and we're going to walk through how to build toys and how to use toys in your campaign. Yep, I remember there were some weird characters. There was the tantric sex guy, which was always an interesting character to have show up. Then there was the guy who had no superpowers, but was just like, basically Hawkeye, right? He was, the archer. Yeah. So that's the focus of BTS. I want to focus more on gaming and philosophy, more on Toy Box, do a little bit of solo role playing, and focus on New Helios City this year, in addition to some reviews and such. Now, for Beyond the Table, I have a ton of guests already lined up. Kevin Simbita is going to come on Beyond the Table. We're going to get Chuck from Trollord, and he may be bringing Steve and Davis to come on the show and just talk about games. Excuse me. And our very own DM James is going to come on the show and tell us about Knights of the Smith Donor Table and kind of what he's been doing in the actual play space. I am hoping this year to get on his Hit Me With Your One Shot. That is not a scheduling issue with James. That is a schedule issue with myself and my health. But I want to be able to run TMNT and Other Strangeness, as well as Jackals on his channel. Other two shows that we have currently are The Troll Wills It. We have a new episode coming out Monday. We're going to be talking about the Codex Exaltum and the Codex Infernum. We're going to be doing that show for the rest of the year. I think Steven Chenault is coming on the show next month to just hang out with Matthias and I and talk Castles and Crusades. And then Exploring Glorantha, we have the next 3 issues or episodes are already lined up. We're doing Rune Magic, this month, and then we're going to do sorcery next month, and then March will be shamanism. So we're going to cover each of the main types of magic. Kevin is a really cool guy, John Doom. You would love it. Chuck runs an amazing game of Castles and Crusades. I really enjoy listening to him on Twitch. The last show is something John Doom and I have cooking up, and hopefully in February we'll get our first episode out. I will let John Doom know, decide whether I can talk about it or not, but that's, kind of up to him. Then on the Iconic channel, Discord channel, we are doing multiple things a month. The goal here is that every month we're going to have a one-shot. This month's one-shot will be next Thursday night. There is no Savage Universe, so it will be next Thursday night. I will put the list out for, I need 4 other people. I've got 2 already. We're going to be doing a 13th Age 2. 13th Age 2 one-shot for the group. And then next month, we're going to do New Helios City. I think we're going to kind of bounce back and forth. New Helios City in even months, odd months being a one-shot of something off the shelf. John Dooms wanted to play 13th Age forever, so I was like, why the hell not? You two are the 2 people that I knew I had seats for. So it's John Doom, Tink, and then 2 other people. I like how you guys are like, us. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's why I said 2 other people. Well done. You both read my mind. John Doom and I, last year, 2 years ago, maybe it was right before, I don't remember when we tried it. We recorded a couple of episodes of something called The Savage Way. We wanted to do a Savage Worlds podcast. And I've been talking with John and with Tink, who is my producer, I guess is the technical term, about doing that as a live show, because it really was the editing that was bogging me down. So I think we're going to try and get that up and running here in the next couple of months. So stay tuned for that. But in addition to the one-shots, and again, New Helios City next month, group, we had our first one in December, and it went really well. Ascendant is a very slick rule set. We have our first book club. A bunch of people have finished The Broken Sword, and we are going to be just hanging out, talking about that tonight after Savage Universe, about 8:30. I'll post the link in the chat as soon as the show is over. I think the only other thing that well, Jason, you are welcome to join. The only other thing I want to talk about is, and this is very exciting for me, I have actually put words to paper. I have about 14 pages written. And one of the one-shots that I'm going to be farming out to the community is the fact that I'm taking the Jackals setting, the Zaharetz from my Jackals RPG, and I am currently putting them together as a Shadow Dark supplement. So we're going to be running playtests of what is tentatively called Jackal Dark at this point, but I'm going to come up with a better name for it once it actually, if it goes to print. And I will put it on the Discord, Ross. And so we're going to be playing some one-shots. If you are at Chupa, I will be running it at Chupa. I will be running it at North Texas RPG Con. I may even be running it at Gen Con. Whew. So that is the roadmap for 2026. I think the next book I would like to read for book club is Dungeon Crawler Carl, and see how many people we can get to put that in there. But why do I bring all of this up? Well, one, I want you guys in the community, on YouTube, on the Iconic Discord, to be a part of these shows. Show up, ask questions, suggest content. But also, if you're a member of the Iconic patronage, I really would love your feedback on New Helios City and on Jackal Dark as it comes together. Oh yes, Ross, I'm going to post the link to the book club Zoom right after I get off this stream. But I value your feedback, your input, and just the collaborative nature of everything we do on Iconic. So that's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to give you a roadmap so you could see kind of what was coming on the horizon for the next couple of months, all the way to the end of 2026 in some cases. Other things that I'm doing, if you want to go check me out on Palladium Books, we have a new episode going live next week where I get to interview John Zalesnik, who is one of my favorite Palladium artists. And then tonight on the Savage Universe channel over on the PEG channels, I am interviewing Alb for the new Fast, Furious, Fun February Creator Jam, which will be going live February 1st. So that's it. That's the roadmap for 2026. Whew. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. I will be back next Thursday. Next Tuesday, I'm off. I have a dentist appointment. So, yeah. Until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful time. Go out and play some role-playing games, and I will see you here in a week for more Behind the Screen. Until then, have a good one, everybody.